Hello everyone, Alex here, and today we're gonna talk about challenge 1. So, I'm doing back row, but I want to give recommendation for every sections. For area of effect, I would use something like this, maybe even with original Superman that don't have unlocked instead of Zatanna in the front row, maybe where Peacemaker is. I haven't tested Peacemaker in area of effect. I have tested him once manually in the back row. He heals people when the opponents die, so that's interesting because he can fit a requirement here, which will give you extra stats for characters that have the area of effect tag, but at the moment I see him only being used in area of effect. We'll see. Maybe he is actually good, but I want to talk about some specific levels and substitutes. So yes, you can have like more area of effect characters that can help you do a little bit better, especially having those extra stats. I'm also going to talk about its difficulty, replacements, because in lower difficulties you may need 2 characters, in higher difficulties you may need 3, and you need them at rank 7, keep that in mind. So sometimes, for example, back row, you can not use a Captain Boomerang because he goes up to a maximum of rank 6. You will be level capped anyways, but so it's nice if you can add those extra characters that give this stat, but I don't see this being extremely impactful. I had an interview with a player that does higher scores than me that you can watch, called Secrets of a League Challenge high scores or whatever, and he says that it may even be bugged. He doesn't notice a difference that those really amped his score. I know that forcing characters with a specific tag just to have an extra stat, but them not being very good, for example, even back row, if I had like all the 4 that I have unlocked, or even like force and also bring Mirror Master, they would do worse than having other characters like Wonder Woman and Constantine that have a very high investment in and that are awesome in this type of challenge, that are doing a lot of damage. Also, you could do, instead of Peacemaker in this team, you could do a tank, maybe Nightwing, if you have an investment into him and the opponents take damage when they hit him. Lex calls for assist. You can even sacrifice her and have the back row survive a little bit longer. So the second section is burn, the second requirement that 8 people need to do. I would have this team plus the original Superman that don't have unlocked. You can try to substitute him by Bizarro if you happen to have him unlocked, because Bizarro does an area of effect advanced attack that hits everyone, and he at least can get some play in a debuff team, so he has some uses outside of this, so might be a little bit more worthy of investing into him. Fox also now hits everyone with his ultimates. Haven't seen some good reviews about people that have an investment into him, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend handling for his fragments if you don't have him very high, but he's also gonna get a small boost relatively soon, so maybe he will become more viable in here. Having his ultimate hit everyone can definitely be a good thing in here. The other characters aren't really worth it, like Starfire hits the front row, and he's not that great anyways in the game, and Black Manta is just if you need to fill the requirement, you need to have like 3 characters, and you don't have Bizarro and the original Superman unlocked, but you have a Superboy and Superman DCU, let's say. You can also throw like a Black Manta at the requirement level that you need to be just to go in. But if you need only 2 characters, You can do something one like Zatanna to help with the revivability. I don't know who would be the tank, one of the two would be in the front row, maybe sacrifice Zatanna. Or because you have already 3 characters hitting a lot of people, or a different tank, maybe Legs, maybe Nightwing, maybe someone that hits everyone, but you would have the Superboys Team Synergy active because they give here a lot of stats that I feel like those are counting. Maybe Green Arrow just because he hits everyone. And then we are at my section. What I'm doing is back row, and you can do 2 teams. One team is the one I'm showing here, which you can activate Robin Sim Synergy and get all those stats. And you have 2 tanks because tanks, generally speaking, aren't doing a lot of damage anyway, so you have other characters to take advantage of that. Just to activate that, you need the support in the team, so you also kind of need Zatanna that at least hits a row. And this does relatively decent, but I found that replacing Robin with Ivy, even though you lose these stats here, if those are active and they're not bugged, you can, and I feel they are active, you can also replace Zatanna and put John Constantine in here, so you can have 3 people in the back row that are dealing a lot of damage and killing many people. I like that Ivy prioritizes can kill the back row, so or prioritize the back row in contrast like with Zatanna, because she will kill 3 people, Zatanna will kill 2. But this needs to be played manually because you have less HP because you lose that. But you still have enough damage in a Wonder Woman and Constantine even without the Robin buff for the back row that he also gives. Besides that, he gives like an extra damage for the first turns in the back row that you don't need the first 3 turns extra damage, you need the turns after that. If you have his Sim Synergy at level 3, him rank 10 that I currently have at rank 9, and I want to test that out at him rank 10. It also steals buffs from the back row if they are hit and not die, and those can help you like deal more damage, and maybe this can be nice. I definitely want to test that out. So I'm gonna talk about a few levels of difficulty. First level is you just put your biggest damage dealers using their ultimates first. Like, that's how they deal damage. Most damage by Wonder Woman, then by Constantine, then by Ivy, then by Groot because I have him 1 rank higher than Penguin, and then Penguin. You have some artifacts here that maybe can help with the damage, and you just press skip battle 10-20 times. You keep your best score, and just by simming it like many times, you might get like, this is 9600. This might get, if you're simming, probably I would do Robin in this particular, yeah, you see a lot of a better score just because I simmed it. If you sim it like 10-20 times, maybe you get another 20k on a score that you are doing because you happen to get good RNG. It's RNG based. See, it's a little bit better, I think, than the previous one. So that's the basic level of doing that. You throw the best team, throw the ultimate order by damage. Sometimes you mess them around because maybe you have Legs and you want to try his ultimate at 4th position. Maybe he keeps your team alive, or you would hope that and Wonder Woman doing her ultimate later could possibly kill a back row, kill everyone. But if she does it first, it might be a waste in some situations, and then when you get to the worst Parademon waves, then you can potentially like not kill them because you happen to have like Ivy. So definitely a principle to apply is make some ultimates around and see which gets you the best score. So this is level 1. You just throw the best team in there. I given some recommendation for every section, even those the ones I'm not doing, and you see me a few times. And the last day of the league challenge, because you might have more levels on your characters or more gear investment or artifacts, anything that can help you. You see me another 10 times or 20 or 30 if you have the time and the patience, and you will get a tiny bit better score that can help you, especially if you want to go into move into better league. They can't ask you to share your score, and you can brag having like 100k higher, and potentially you can move into a different into a better league. Then another thing I want to mention, of course, is when you're doing those, you can move gear around between characters and put the best gear on the characters that you're using, because at this specific challenge you may not be using, let's say, Lex. So you can go in here, you can press exchange, and you get Lex's gear. If you had a gear on Penguin, Lex would have the gear of Penguin. You can get his artifact, and you have a better artifact. You can have the best attacking gear from characters that you aren't using. At this moment, for me, it's Sinestro. So I'm taking his gear, I'm taking his artifact, and I will try to do that for the best score. And that's level 1, is throw the best characters in there and try to sim it a few times. And maybe because you have like a little bit better gear and artifacts, you will get a potentially higher score by just simming it a few times. I want to play it manually to give an idea how you can do a better score in this particular challenge one. I found that doing it manually can help you do a better score. So let's go. So I'm letting the first couple of waves hit me that do very little damage, but I don't want to cap on energy. So first I'm gonna use the ultimates that are the characters that are doing the less damage and that aren't so important. So let's use this here. Then we're gonna do growth. I want to save to have available the Wonder Woman and the Constantine's ultimates, because I need to use them maybe later on harder nodes, or if I'm capped on energy. I try not to get capped on energy. Now I did, okay, no big deal. Also, if you want to make it a little bit more difficult or to get a better score, now I would be capped on energy, so I'm using that. You can also have your eye on the left row, where you can see the opponent. You can see first of all your energy, so you want to use it before it gets capped, but also sometimes delay using your ultimates, because you see you will be doing a lot of basics before they hit you, so you can save your ultimates for later waves that they would have killed you. Now I'm also talking, so I'm maybe not super perfectly concentrated on how I'm playing this. Now, because it's later on in the match, I can use it. It's only for 5 turns. So I can have more attack on constant and probably kill more waves. Now, for example, I want to use it because I have many people hitting me. And then you have the reinforcements that I've saved. Now I'm doing many basics, so I'm not using the ultimates. Let's see the next wave. Still we are going first, but we're gonna be capped on it. Wasn't fast enough with this. I have saved my reinforcements, so now potentially I can clear a wave with that. Okay, let's go here and Sometimes you just need to reset it to be like, ooh, they stayed alive. No, just put auto. Maybe we can get to do one more ultimate. Yeah, I think I kinda showcase how you play it, and you reset a few times. Maybe you can get a higher score that way. So you save some ultimates, save some reinforcement. If you have crypto, hits everyone a lot better than the tiger. That actually hits a little bit the front row if they are low in HP. But you can save those to kill a later wave because their damage is based on your highest damage dealer. You can save some ultimates. With this sim, at least you have Ivy, you have a Team Synergy active, you have those 9% stats. The opponents take more poison damage, that's something extra. So the base difficulty is this: you keep in mind like your ultimates to use them on the highest opportunity targets that you will deal more damage. You kind of get familiar with how they play out, and you use the, for example, Wonder Woman's ultimate when they will kill everyone. You can also, in this particular, I like Constantine because he's passive. If you take a look at him, I'm gonna quit quickly. He builds a circle around himself, so he also uses an extra attack after 3 turns that they hits a few people that can kill like 3 people or whatever. So here you, when he does one more basic, let's clear a wave just to show that. When he does one more basic, he will kill more people because he. No, one more. Come on, Constantine. That's execution ultimate. No. Okay. So he basically has an opportunity to kill many people with that. You have Wonder Woman being a massive damage dealer. You have better stats on like Ivy because I have the best gear on her, and she can kill a back row when they help with that. If you manage like your ultimates and even your basics to some degree, you can take a look on when the opponents will be hitting you, and if you see them all ready to attack you, you can use an ultimate area of effect that kills everyone. If you see that you have 5 people doing yours doing their basic first, maybe let this and you know you will kill them. Maybe use the ultimate on the next wave because you will kill them by basics. Let's make it one level harder and more advanced now, and that's maybe conditional a bit and more for Wells at the moment. So Gardner is a character that can help you do a higher level. I'm gonna put the gear from her on him, have the correct artifact on him. I'm gonna use Robin, because Robin seems gives more stats. I'm gonna activate that with Zatanna. I'm not gonna do a full match, I'm just want to showcase why Guy is the best character. And actually Guy is very nice in the front row as a damage dealer, so may even not need 2 tanks. So can we do Ivy here? And also have more damage. Since you already have a tank in Guy. Okay, so we can attack. And I want just to showcase Guy's advanced attack, how it works. If you kill someone, it keeps going. So if you have a very big guy, he will just keep killing them, and every time he attacks, he also gets a shield that when they start attacking you, you will have a massive shield on him that you will get a lot less damage. I'm gonna pause it until they start staying alive. Okay, they just stayed alive. So, even without like any gear on him, he killed the first rows. If his ultimate kills someone, He does that, his advanced attack one more time. Now it didn't kill, but you have your ultimate, you can do it again. Now he does it again. You can use his ultimate again. You killed them. You can kill them. He keeps going. And use his ultimate. No, we're out of energy. Now we have energy. You can kill them. And keep going. Use his ultimate. I'm just showcasing him at the moment. I'm not even like try to do a higher score. See, he has so much shield on him that he doesn't take any damage. He's a great tank that way. Also, you see like 20 stacks of a strong attack on him. This is a bug, just a visual. Let's kill them. He will keep going. He also gets energy back and can use his ultimate again if you kill them by his ultimate. I'm gonna showcase his kit afterwards. I just want to show why a big guy would work. So you just imagine him dealing more damage and killing more waves after that. So okay, that's it for him. Let's go to his kit. Sorry, I had gear on him. I had a Sinestros gear on him, but let's show his kit. So his advanced attack, you need to have him at rank 7 to do that. If you have him at rank 6 or lower, he's useless for this challenge. Just saying for beginners. If Baltimore Chop, that his advanced attack, defeats an enemy, guy will immediately perform another Baltimore Chop, as you see him doing, and he will still he will be killing people forever. He basically does that in the first challenge. He was designed for that, and he very rarely does that in other situations like main stages or PvP, like Elite Arena. He may do that once or twice per match, but that's it. In my experience so far, at least, that I have him a little bit smaller than other characters, and his ultimate. He also needs to be at a certain level to do that. I don't know if he needs to be at rank 8, I don't remember where this unlocks. But if an enemy is afflicted with interference, that the guy inflicts target with interference with doing the Baltimore Chop, then he hits the highest attack opponent, and then his ultimate targets the character with interference that will already have taken some damage but not died by Baltimore Chop, but his advanced attack. And then guy's attack like automatically becomes a critical hit, so it will crit his ultimate always when you do it on a character that has stayed alive from an advanced attack that still has interference on them. If this attack defeats the target, his ultimate, your timer will reset, so you can use your ultimate immediately. You will get back one ultimate point, as you seen on the gameplay, just using him here in the League Challenge. And the guy will immediately perform a Baltimore Chop, as I said. So you can just like mess around with those two and keep doing Baltimore Chops and killing them. The bigger he is, the more waves he can take out. So if he's your biggest character, for whatever reason you have more ranks on him, then he's the best character to use in there. He needs to be at least rank 7, as I've said. But if he competes with other characters that have her emblems maxed out and their ranks at rank 10 and he's at 8 or whatever, and they might have more investment into their artifact, into their gear. Yes, you can move gear around on him, but they still will have like the extra stats that they gain as a signature, that they have like 20% defense bonus, 10% attack bonus, 8% attack bonus, that they don't transfer on the other characters, only when you have the gear on the specific characters. For beginners that haven't known that. Best gear is probably something like this for him, like 4 crits to attack. Probably you will be moving gear from other characters like Wonder Woman or Sinestro on him to do that. So maybe I should have moved like Wonder Woman's gear because I have more investment to her gear than Sinestro's to do that. But basically and besides the damage, also need to talk about his passive. He converts 5% of any damage he deals into a permanent shield, then 10%, then 15%, up to 25 shields. And shields reduce incoming superpower damage by 10%. I don't think they do superpower damage on you. So they do superpower damage on you, nice. So he was perfectly designed for that. Yeah, let's go back to Guy. Okay. So, yeah, he takes 10% less superpower damage. He has attacked many people with his advanced attack. He kills them, he stacks up to 25 shields. And I believe the visual bug that it looks like he gets strong attacks. They stack up on like visually, depending on how many attacks he does, that they are probably a little bit related with the icon of him getting a shield. It also adds an icon of him getting strong attacks. I have tested this and have seen like if his damage ramps up. It doesn't. You can even go back to the video and see that every one of his attack is doing the same damage on the same row because each row is stronger and stronger. So he's not getting more 8% more damage per strong attack. Otherwise this would be broken. But let's talk about broken. So his artifact Chrona's Power Gauntlet is what makes him a lot stronger. So if you have his artifact originally just unlocking him might be the best artifact on him, even like his artifact tier 0 and rank 1, it's probably does more for him than if I put a lasso on him that I have it on tier 3, so he gains 10% attack, 10 HP and 15% crit, and I have it at tier at rank 4, so he also would be doing 20% crit damage by the first ultimate, and he will be getting 10% damage amplification. Although, and more stats here at the top, if you see like 16,000 attack and a lot of HP and defense. I believe even at rank 1, it's the best artifact on him, or comparing that with Chaos Crystal, that I have more investment into. I think he's doing better with that, but maybe it just ramps him up like 10% because it gives him HP, and it gives him shield applied by the bear also grant 10% damage resistance for 2 turns. I don't know if this stacks up. I believe the rank 3 that I'm going to talk about after stacks up. If it does, he adds 25 shields on him, so he basically will take 0 damage. I don't know if this is a case or he just has so many shields that they take a while to get removed, but after a while he gets stunned and he loses his shields, and it says for 2 turns, the 2 turns passed, having him stunned, and he starts taking damage. So this helps him with survivability, and he can stay alive and do more attacks. The Baltimore Chop is a little bit annoying. If he doesn't kill anyone, then it's a 4-turn cooldown. His basic attack is kinda strong, does many hits, especially if you have his emblem ranked up. It does a lot of hits. It can also add dampen in some situations, but you don't bet on that on the challenge one. So he's super survivable with all the shields that he gets here, that he can be as the main tank. and they also give him, they are based on a lot of damage that he has done, all the rounds that he has killed everyone, and all the Parademons, and he has a big shield then that can keep him alive for like 2-3 turns after that, especially combined with the Kronos Power Gauntlet at rank 1, it also gives him more damage resistance, even if it's just 10% less damage, maybe that's the case. He will get another 10% less damage on top of all the shields that he has, so he stays more alive. That's nice. And he gets some stats from that and whatever, and 15%, 15,000 HP. Cool. But if you want to well out and have a massive score on league challenges, like even just doing that, you can do a very big score if you have a specific level. You're a little bit capped on levels, even if you want to spend a lot of money. Then you can get a very high score using Guy in Challenge 1. He's a artifact at rank 3. So I have had many, because I'm like a very competitive league, and let's see here how much can we see the scores of other people are doing. Let me see. No, only the very recent ones. So I don't have something here. But there are people, if you see, that they have also a very big score from Challenge 1. So they reach like more than 1 million damage. And they report that bringing his artifacts from rank 1 to rank 3. At rank 2, he just gives him 5% crit rate. Nice, but not game changing in any ways. Just a tiny bit nice. At rank 3, shields applied by the bearer also grant 10% damage amplification for 2 turns. Seeing how much of a bigger score people are getting, like they have reported, like the week before doing that, 1090k damage, 2000k, 200,000k, then they move up to 350k, 400,000k. So double the damage basically. 200,000 more damage that you can see in some scores, and not everyone has attacked. Press here, Peacemaker's apologies too. That some people need to have like a 400,000 damage score here to get this type of score. And even here, if you see someone has a bigger score than me, and I have 238,000 almost, and they have 1.2 million, those people have his artifact at a rank 3. It's a little bit of money to do that, because you need to pull, I think it's 3, maybe it's 2 and I'm mistaken, someone can say that in the comments, but if you pull 40 times, you can get one elite, then another 40 times that you pull, second elite, then another 40, third elite, and then every 3 elites, it's 1 epic. So you can have a guarantee after that, but it's 1 to unlock it, to get it once, then a second to upgrade it 30, and then to rank them from 2 to 3, which is where do I have it? This one to go from 2 to 3 would take another 60, so it's 120 in total. It's 4 times 4 times 2,000 for 10 pulls. Let me do the math, how many diamonds that is. So did the math, it's 128,000 diamonds to have a guarantee if you don't pull it. You can pull it in between. There is a chance like that 2.5% that it's an epic artifact, and of those there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 of 7 that it's the gauntlet. Probably pulling like 100,000, maybe you get that. You will pull it one more time, or if it's 2 and 1 time the elite, and I don't remember that correctly. Maybe it's closer to 90,000, even if you don't pull it, but or 80,000. Still a lot of diamonds to spend to bring that to rank 3. Maybe you're lucky and you pull that a couple of times, and that can definitely help you. Plus, on top of many other things that you want to spend your diamonds on. Many people may want to do the created tokens to get the Peacemaker. Then there are new epic characters that you may want to pull with diamonds. There's a lot of things that you can do with diamonds in the game, and you can buy some offers. There is an offer that helps you get more tokens to pull for artifacts. That's a little bit more expensive, but still not very expensive. It's maybe not super realistic for free-to-plays to have his artifact at rank 3 immediately, like right now, but to slowly aim to get it in a couple of months, I think it's realistic. You will also pull it sometimes randomly. Maybe you're lucky and you pull it 2 times and you get closer. I know many elite artifacts I have pulled, like this one here. I don't think I have bought 1 time from the store, and I have brought it almost to max rank. So you can be lucky in some artifacts like that. You can be lucky with that. I know what I'm doing is I'm saving the artifacts to pull. I'm saving those tokens to pull when Peacemaker's artifact goes in there. So I'm double dipping and I'm trying to pull both. That can be a nice strategy for you if you don't expect to bring it to rank 3 immediately anyways. So you can double dip by both and increase all your artifacts together. After a while, it's not too far away now for this to become available. Maybe in, I don't know, 3 weeks. I don't know when they will bring Peacemaker's artifact. But if you are in the point in the game where you want to push, or for whatever reason you want to prioritize that because you want to move into a better league and get all those rewards weekly that are really nice to have passively coming in every week. So being like in the top league here, you get a lot of more rewards than being lower. Like all the diamonds, say 7,500 diamonds per week, and the tokens that can help you pull some characters. Very, very nice. So this here, the way I believe this works is it gives 10% more damage, that based on the damage people are doing. I haven't tested it. It gives 10% more damage amplification, not once because he has shields on him, but 10% extra per shield that he gets. So he might have like 30 shields on him, 3,000 more percent more, no, 300% more damage amplification. That will help you because you will be doing more damage by that, and you have the 5% crit chance or whatever. As Parademons are dying, they gain more and more stats, but you gain more and more damage, so you can keep killing more and more rows. So each time they revive, they gain a 40% more attack, defense, and HP, and they get more sacks of 30 armor. The front row can help them survive more. Him getting increasingly more damage amplification by that make him, everyone that has brought the power gauntlet. I wanted to showcase that, but it will take a while. Better to have this information out for people that want to do that faster. So if you didn't know, this at rank 3 will do like 2,100 or double your damage. So he can be the main DPS in a team and tank doing basically more damage, having a massive shield on him so he survives, even being at the main position of tank. And then it doesn't really matter who the rest of the characters are, yeah, and you can even sim it and because, or just leave him kill the first like 10 rows of enemies or whatever, and then play it manually from there. So you can just have a team like this, have him do his ultimate first, so it can reset a few times, have the biggest damage dealer here, even like bet a little bit on like for one Zatanna Frantic for him to be guaranteed to have crit, even like macromanage it, put some gear onto him so he has 50% crit chance and 50% from Zatanna. He has like the extra damage that he does, or playing that with Guy it counts as the first 3 turns, because the turns don't go, just the waves go by, not turns. So he will be having the 18% more damage to the back row, so he can kill those at least and use his ultimate to kill the front row and kill a couple of more waves that way, Guy. Also like with the Frantics from Zatanna, and the stats here, like 90% stats if you have his Team Robin's Team Synergy at 90%. So in any of the 3 teams, Guy is the guy for you to have a highest score. Just he needs to be at least rank 7, or rank 7 to be kinda usable. Rank 8 because he needs to have his artifact on him, and you need him to be at rank 8 to have the artifact to be able to put artifacts on him. I even maxed out the tiers here, hoping it will do a better score. Put the gear from Wonder Woman on him. He's at rank 9, he's not small. And I was doing like 160 to 190,000 damage, just simming it. So he's a little bit limited with and Parallax definitely helps him do a little bit better, and I unlocked it where I was testing that. I had just unlocked it. It gives more damage amplification to him so he can kill more waves, and it ignores target's defenses. So this can be very strong for and help a guy do a little bit better. But even having like everything like maxed out, the rank 3 makes a difference here. It's not it's probably additive, the damage amplification. But also just one thing like that people that are doing those scores are just simming it. So they just have a guy here and the best team that they can make. Probably, especially area of effect, you can have more characters in there that are helping with the damage. So you can even have like something like this. Where's Green Arrow? Here he is. Have the stats from that, at least 12% go to everyone. Have the stats here, that would be 90%. Have guy going first. Have them like this. And even like reinforcement to do more damage afterwards, or crypto instead of this if you have it. And just skip battle like 20 times, do 450k, and you're happy with your weekly score. Yeah, as I said, the last day it's good to try do another 5, 10, 20 skips or whatever if you have the patience. In every challenge, not just in that. This is a little bit better to play manually in some situations. The other ones it does skip. And maybe you have more levels on your character, you can get them to do another 20,000. That might help your league do a better rank and get more rewards, or can help you get a better score, you can move to a better league. But having something like this, or if I didn't have like if I had to do burn, I would have him as a second tank, and he's also putting out dampens that can help with the... I even have him here, so he can put dampen on the same character guys prioritizing. I don't think it makes a massive difference. And then either Bizarro that can heal them, or the original Superman, and have a, like, maybe the turn that goes something like this, or because Super Boy is a damage dealer that hits many people, and do the best score that you can for that week simming it. I don't know if you can optimize it better by just having it manually waiting for 2 minutes until guy stops killing waves and play it manually and try to do the best that you can, be quick with your ultimates and micromanage, as I said, like combine the two ways. Because as I said, like guy is a big amplifier if you have especially his artifact at rank 3, which is a game changer, and it goes a little bit higher. I don't know how much it helps more than that, probably a little bit, and maybe every rank on him might help him put out like 30,000-50,000 more damage in the final score, because, or even a little bit more in some situations, because it may give him more damage, especially rank 10, which can he does more damage in his ultimate and his advanced attack, so he will be killing more waves besides the stats that he gets by being upgraded. So here it will be doing 175,000 instead of 150. This will be doing 350 instead of 300. Might help him rank 10 to put out more damage by that. But on top of that, you may have him play manually and have it like on the side for 2 minutes, and then play it manually from there when he stops killing people. Maybe have him use his ultimate a few times to keep going, and then try to micromanage like your ultimates on other characters like Wonder Woman in there to kill the rest of the waves, and your other stuff that I said in the video, like seeing where the basics are at, and maybe sometimes you kill them with your basics, and you don't have to waste ultimates and use them later. And also like using reinforcements correctly to clear a wave in a way that they can help you stay alive for the next ultimate. Many times you want one person to stay alive, so you do more basics and you reach your next ultimate faster and get back ability energy. Hope this has been helpful and helps you push to a higher league challenge score. I will follow with this up at some point relatively soon with the other two challenges. Bye for now.